Hello
Loading.
and greetings.
Where did LTG? Where?
Late this evening. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about what I went through my first year of going through the child support, sharing custody type of situation. So, okay, this is hard to explain because I know the rules of what people who are sharing custody and the person who's paying the child support. I know the rules, but at the time, it was just hard for me to just really just let go. So, I'm gonna say that the first situation of my baby daddy coming to get my daughter, because I had to share custody because I was receiving child support the first year of him paying child support, which my check was nothing but $50. My check was $50 for a long time because he was still paying child support for his other daughter. And this is what happened. One day he come to my house and he made it seem like he wanted to spend the night with me and his daughter, which was such a lie. He come to my house. He's like, get her dressed and put some pull-ups in her little backpack and an extra change of clothes because she coming with me to my brother's house. And I couldn't intervene. I couldn't really say anything because I had to share custody of her because he is paying child support. But I really did not want to share custody because at the time I just felt like he didn't deserve at all to for me to share custody with him because he kept playing games with me. He was going back and forth from me to the other baby mama. He was sleeping with both of us. And he was trying to use me every time it was time for him to leave my house. He asked me, could he have $2 to get on the bus to ride to his apartment? And I'm looking at him like, dude, I ain't your sugar mama. Did you ask the other baby mama? Could you have bus fare? Why you always hitting me up for bus fare when you get ready to leave? You have a job at the Bush Airport, is what I told him at the time. But I'm just gonna say my daughter was around I'm gonna say 4. She was still 4 years old, going on 5. So I got my daughter dressed, put her some pull-ups in her little diaper bag, one change of clothes, because I was not going to allow him to just, spend the whole weekend with my daughter. He came back the next day with her, but the point was I wasn't ready to let her go with him, even though that is her daddy. So, and I put her in a pair of socks I put her a Lunchable and a juice in the diaper bag and her sippy cup. And I was just hurt. So I remember he grabbed her, walking down the street with her, holding her hand. And as I watched him walk off with my daughter, because they was getting ready to get on the bus, he was gonna ride the bus back to his brother's house, because at the time he was staying with his brother, the same brother who he told his brother to his face that a long time ago he smashed his wife. It's cold-blooded, trying to hurt somebody because he felt hurt. But anyway, he took my daughter. I watched him and my daughter as he was holding her hand, and they walked away until they were gone out of sight. And I just went in the house and I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. And so that night I had called my sister and I asked her, could she come pick me up, because I really didn't want to stay in that big ass apartment by myself, because my first apartment I had 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and an upstairs inside. I was always scared inside of that apartment. So it took her a minute to come get me, but she did come and get me, and I cried myself to sleep that night. And me and her was talking, and she was telling me, well, you know that there's you and his daughter together, and he does pay child support. You know you have to share custody of her with him. I'm like, I understand that, but he don't deserve it, because he didn't. I was in my feelings, because like I said, he kept coming around me, playing with me, whispering sweet nothings in my ear, acting as if he wanted to be with me, and then he would go over there to the other baby mama and do the same with her. But he really just used to play with me, just play with my feelings and all that. So I did not like. Then on top of that, he was doing more for his other 2 kids than he was doing for our daughter. So I felt some type of way about that too. So, and based on the fact that my child support check was only $50 at the time. So, the very next day after I woke up, my eyes were swollen because I had been crying, because I really did not want him to take my daughter with him, but he had to. I had to share custody. It was what it was. But the very next day I called. I got on the phone when I woke up the next morning, and I called his phone. No, I didn't. I called his brother's phone, and I asked to speak to him. And he was telling me that his brother was asleep. And I told him, can you wake him up and get him on the phone? So he gets on the phone and he curses me out. He's like, you don't be calling this motherfucking early in the morning. This is my motherfucking daughter too. I'll bring her back when I get ready. Then he hung up in my face. So, once my sister dropped me off at home I said, I'm gonna get him. He brought my daughter back, and then he had himself. He had a backpack with his clothes too, like he was getting ready to spend the night. And then I told him, I said, "What the fuck you bring you a overnight bag for?" He's like, "What?" I said, "You heard me. I don't appreciate the way you talked to me on the phone this morning. Then you bring your sorry ass back over here like you finna just lay in my house and go in my refrigerator and eat my motherfucking groceries after you did what you did." He's like, "Look, I'm in the streets. I'm homeless. I don't have nowhere to go. I'm staying with my brother, but I'm just gonna spend the night here, and then in the morning I will leave your house." And he's like, "I don't understand what you're mad for. I pay child support. I'm a good father." I'm like, "Yeah, you pay child support. It's just that your child support is not enough money." I said, "Come tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. I want you out of my house." He's like, "Fine." Then he gonna sit up there and say what he always would say to me: "You just mad because I won't lay up with you." I'm like, "Dude, I don't need you to lay up with me." I'm like, "You think that's what it's all about because that's what you've been used to doing every time you come around me. He's the one who used to ask me to have sex with him. And he's such a dog at the time. Like, he was not only like sleeping with me, like I said, he was sleeping with the other baby mama too. And I was just weak and still in love with him, so every time he would ask me, I would just give in. But I shouldn't have gave in at all because he just didn't respect me. He did not fucking respect me. And so, like I said, he had the audacity to come back. He was only supposed to drop my daughter off. He didn't get my permission to spend the night with me, but that's how some baby daddies think. They feel like just because they think that you still in love with them that they can just do whatever they want to do. No. But this is the end of this story time about my first 2 years of going through child support and sharing custody. I'm still getting child support. Me and my daughter deserve it, but my child support check went from me only just getting $50 all the way to me I'm gonna say once I got moved in another apartment in the same apartment complex, my child support went up to only $100. But yeah, I don't know. I can remember a long time ago when my child support check was only $10. And for some reason, the people who are the closest to me thought that was funny. It was not funny to me. Because how dare you only send me $10 for your daughter? But that only happened one time. But that's the end of my story time about the first 2 years of me sharing custody and getting child support when I first started getting child support. And this is the end of my story time. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. And until then, y'all stay blessed.